My wife says I'm overreacting about her brother who photographed our daughter for 2 years. I found the first photo while fixing Sophia's iPad. The screen had been cracked for weeks, and I finally ordered a replacement, which meant transferring everything to my laptop before the repair. That's when I saw the folder labeled Uncle Trevor's Photography Project, with 847 files inside. I clicked it open expecting generic kid photos from family gatherings, maybe some nature shots since Trevor fancied himself an artist. Instead, I found 2 years of images documenting my daughter in increasingly private moments. Sophia sleeping in her room, Sophia changing clothes with the door partially open, Sophia in the bathtub, carefully framed to seem innocent but clearly calculated, Sophia bent over doing homework, camera angle focused on areas no uncle should be photographing. The timestamps went back 26 months. I sat frozen at my desk, my hands shaking so badly I could barely control the mouse. Leslie walked in asking about dinner and saw my face. She came around the desk, looked at the screen, and her first words were not horror or shock. She said, "David, those are just art photos. Trevor's building his portfolio." I turned to look at my wife, unable to process what she had just said. Art photos. Portfolio. These words applied to images of our 9-year-old daughter in various states of undress, captured without her knowledge or consent over 2 years. Leslie's expression was defensive, not concerned. She crossed her arms and said Trevor had mentioned he was documenting childhood for a gallery exhibit about innocence and growth. He had asked her permission months ago, and she had agreed because he needed family subjects. I asked why she never mentioned this to me, why I was never consulted about my daughter being photographed in private moments. Leslie said she did not think it was a big deal, that I was being paranoid and seeing something sinister in harmless photos. She said Trevor was a professional photographer who had exhibited in actual galleries, that he understood composition and lighting, that I was sexualizing innocent images because I had a dirty mind. The accusation hit me physically. I was sexualizing my own daughter by recognizing that her uncle had been secretly documenting her in vulnerable positions for years. The cognitive dissonance was staggering. I pulled up specific photos, forcing Leslie to actually look at them. There was Sophia in her bathroom, towel slipping while she reached for something. Another showed her in pajamas, bent forward, the angle deliberate. Leslie insisted these were artistic choices about lighting and perspective. She said I would not understand because I was not creative, that Trevor had explained his concept to her and it made perfect sense. I asked if Trevor had permission to be in Sophia's bathroom, in her bedroom, taking photos while she slept or changed. Leslie's face tightened. She said he probably took them during family visits, that he was around the house often enough to capture candid moments. I pulled up the metadata, showing her the timestamps. 3 a.m. on a Thursday, when Trevor should have been at his own apartment across town. 7 p.m. on a Saturday, when we were supposedly out at dinner and Sophia stayed home with a babysitter. Leslie went quiet, staring at the screen, her defense cracking slightly before she rebuilt it. She said the timestamps might be wrong, that digital files got corrupted sometimes, that I was reaching for explanations that fit my paranoid narrative instead of accepting the simple truth that her brother was an artist. I saved every file to an external drive before Leslie could think to delete them. Then I called the police non-emergency line and was transferred to a detective who specialized in crimes against children. Detective Barbara Ortiz asked me to bring the drive to the station immediately and to not discuss the images with anyone else, including my wife or Trevor. I told Leslie I was going out and she demanded to know where. When I said the police station, she tried to stop me physically, standing in front of the door. Then she said, "To see the full story, click the link below or go on my channel."